A flicker in the darkness not from stars, but from countless fireflies. A tribe ancient and fearless struggles against the oppressive night. The question echoes in the air. What if light was a luxury, something you fought for, under the haunting gaze of predators? The night descended over the vast, empty plains like a thick, suffocating blanket. The soft whisper of the wind was the only sound. Far in the distance, a single firefly blinked its glow fleeting. In this world, fire was scarce, and only the glowing insects held the secret to seeing the night. A small group of early humans, Homo erectus, huddled together, their faces painted with grim determination. They had no fire to guide them, no flames to ward off the dangers lurking in the dark. But the fireflies, their soft dancing lights, offered the faintest hope. Tonight, they were hunting. The moon was high, but the only reliable light came from the bioluminescent insects. The tribe moved in quiet, practiced coordination, each step calculated, each gesture a whisper of survival. One of the women, her face weathered by years of struggle, held a bundle of dried leaves in her arms. A child clung to her side, his wide eyes reflecting the glow of 1,000 fireflies. In the distance, the low growl of a predator pierced the air. A shadow moved quickly, too quickly, the glowing eyes of a saber-toothed tiger visible just for a moment, before it disappeared back into the darkness. The woman's heart raced. The tribe knew well that predators were drawn to the faint glow, and without the protection of fire, they were exposed. Suddenly, a young man, his eyes sharp with the anxiety of the hunt, grabbed a stone tool, his muscles taut, ready for action. They had no time to wait. The fireflies, their glowing signals, were both a guide and a warning. The tribe, with their delicate dependence on the tiny sparks of light, were racing against time and against predators. The woman took a deep breath, holding the child close, and nodded to the rest of the group. It was time to move. Each member of the tribe knew their place. This was a race for survival, a fight not just against the dark, but against the predators that used the night as their cover. Their plan was simple. The group would use the firefly lights as a way to track the paths of small game. The child, small and swift, was sent to scurry behind bushes, his task simple: follow the soft glow and guide the group toward prey. The tribe's movements were quiet but swift. Their method of hunting was primal but effective. They used stone tools sharpened to deadly perfection to trap the wild game as it neared the firefly-lit patches of grass. But the danger was always there, hidden beneath the tranquility. In the shadows, something larger moved. The tribe could sense it, the deep rumble of a predator closing in. The flickering lights of the fireflies grew more erratic, their flashes becoming frantic. In the blink of an eye, the hunter spotted it, the dark silhouette of the saber-toothed tiger, its massive form emerging from the underbrush. Its glowing eyes locked onto the woman's tribe. They were too close now, too exposed in the glow of the insects. The group scattered their bodies, moving like shadows through the darkness, each member gripping the stone tools with white-knuckled hands. The woman holding the child tightly knew they had moments, precious moments. The tribe was too slow, too scattered, to defend themselves effectively in this nightmare of darkness. The predator had them cornered. The young man let out a primal yell, drawing the tiger's attention. In that moment, the tribe rushed together, coordinating their efforts with near-perfect precision. The fireflies buzzed in a blur of light, adding to the chaos, their faint flickers no match for the wild beast that was closing in on them. The woman's heart pounded, her grip on her child tightening. The final confrontation had arrived. As the saber-toothed tiger lunged forward, its jaws wide gleaming with hunger, the tribe's fearlessness ignited. The young man who had drawn the predator's attention was now face to face with the beast. His heart thundered, but his mind was calm. He knew this moment could define their survival. His stone tool held in both hands was raised high, ready to strike. In that split second, the woman's body moved with instinct. She shoved the child behind a nearby rock, out of the predator's reach. Her eyes met the young man's as they both understood the urgency. There was no room for error now. This wasn't just about hunting, it was about fighting for their right to survive the night. The man took one step forward, then another. His movements were fluid, practiced, learned, from years of avoiding predators, of waiting for the right moment. He threw a jagged stone spear toward the tiger's face, a desperate attempt to disorient it. The beast roared in fury, its fur bristling eyes narrowing in on the small group that dared to challenge its supremacy. But as the fireflies continued to blink around them, the tribe's instincts sharpened. The woman from her position picked up a small bundle of glowing fireflies, their light contained within the hollowed-out shell of a long-dead tortoise. She threw it into the air, shattering the fragile shell and releasing the insect swarm. The fireflies lit up the space in a wild frenzy, casting an unpredictable glow, disorienting the tiger. Its eyes flashed from one movement to another, no longer able to focus solely on its prey. The young man used this opportunity to charge, closing the gap between him and the saber-toothed predator. With a well-placed strike, his stone tool sank into the beast's exposed flank. The tiger let out a high-pitched shriek, thrashing in agony. It lunged at him, but in that instant, the rest of the tribe closed in from the shadows. They threw their own spears, their movements perfectly synchronized, honed by years of living under the threat of danger. The tiger stumbled, and with one final forceful blow, it collapsed into the dirt with a heavy thud. The tribe's faces were painted with sweat and blood, their breaths ragged in the tense silence that followed. But they had done it. Against all odds, they had survived. The woman turned to the child, who had been silently watching the chaos unfold. Her eyes softened, a smile breaking through the grime on her face. The predator was no more. The fireflies continued to flicker around them, their soft glow now a beacon of their triumph. But the night wasn't over. The tribe needed to secure the area. They had won this battle, but the wilderness held more dangers. The woman motioned for the group to stay alert, each person silently taking their position as they began to drag the tiger's carcass to a safe place. There was no time to relax. The firefly's light had guided them, but it had also betrayed them. The glow was both a gift and a curse, beautiful but dangerous. As they reached the riverbank, the tribe set up camp for the night. The woman sat with her back to a large boulder, watching over the group as they ate, their tired faces illuminated by the remaining firefly glow. The child nestled against her, finally feeling the relief of safety. The fireflies danced above them, a constant reminder of the fragile line between light and darkness, life and death. The woman's gaze drifted to the sky, where the first stars began to appear. She knew the journey ahead would not be easy. But for tonight, they were safe. And that was enough. In the stillness, a low, contented murmur of the tribe filled the air as they huddled together, sharing the spoils of their survival. The bond between them was unspoken, but profound, forged in the heat of battle under the unforgiving sky by the flickering light of fireflies. It was their only light in a world of darkness. And for now, it was enough. The night falls over the plains, and a small tribe of Homo erectus depends on the glowing fireflies for light. With predators lurking, they move quietly, using the insects' flickers to guide their hunt. But the peace is shattered when a saber-toothed tiger appears, drawn by the light. The young man of the tribe, realizing the danger, distracts the tiger, while the rest of the group prepares. A well-aimed stone spear strikes the tiger, but the battle is far from over. The tribe uses firefly-lit bundles to disorient the predator, giving them the upper hand. After a tense fight, they bring the tiger down victorious. In the aftermath, the tribe regroups by the riverbank, their survival secured for now. The firefly's glow continues to light their path, a reminder of the constant struggle between light and darkness, life and death.